Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a quick layout. I'm using a sketch from the scrap room. Each month she passes out a sketch along with your kit. She also gives you a cut file and a Freaky Fast Friday, which is a way to cut your papers and then use them on a layout. I'm using the Secret Garden from Carta Bella kit, and I already used this once, but I didn't use like a whole lot of it except for one sheet. So I have a few scraps, and then I have pretty much almost all the papers as like 11 by 12. So I have a good amount of papers to use, and I'm still going to have a good amount of papers when I get done by using the sketch. The sketch is fairly simple, and everything's going to come together very quickly. So here's the scraps that I have. I kept the black cardstock in case I wanted to use it. I end up not using it. I'm going to go with colored papers instead for photo mats, and also I'm going to use a lighter color for the background, which is one of the floral papers, which is surprising for me, but I really like the florals in this collection, especially the paper that I choose to use as the background. So here you can see I have quite a few of the papers. This one here is actually going to be my background. And then I have this one here, which is the blue one that I'm going to use as one of the little strips that goes in the middle. This cut apart here, I actually don't use at all on this layout, so I still have that one left to use on a future layout. I was guest designer this month, and I wanted to thank the scrap room for having me as a guest designer. I thoroughly enjoyed using my kits this month and getting them out of my stash. I have quite a few left to still do, but I plan on doing those here in the next month. And I'm going to get started on the layout. So here is the paper that I used as the background. I have the two banners already cut down, and that blue one, and then the like orangey yellow colored one is going to be the top one. And these are two photos of my, or three photos actually, of my older son on Easter. But I don't really want the layout to be Easter ish. Like, there's other layouts of him on the same day that are Easter related. So I just want the cute photos scrapbooked, and they'll go in the album right on Easter. I'm sure you'll be able to tell that they're still part of Easter without it being overly Easter. Um, so the cute one of him sitting on the chair, the one of him sitting closer to my niece that I put up there at the top, my sister actually took. And you can tell the difference because the coat is still behind the kids on the chair. And in my photo, I moved the coat over to the side, put it on the stairs, and it's not so distracting in the photo. But that's okay. I still think it's a really cute photo, so I'm going to go ahead and include it on the layout. It's not perfect, but that's okay. Not all photos are perfect, and they all tell a story. So I like that. I'm just rubbing down the distressed edge to make it a little bit more flat where I'm going to put the play foam at so that it will stick down. I did just scuff up the edges of all of the papers. I didn't ink anything on this layout, which is another unusual thing, but the distressing, counts as inking, so that's okay. I'm going to add the little photos up here. Like I said, I'm going to pop this one up on play foam, and it's going to come together fairly quickly. I'm not going to use very many stickers. I bring in a couple of acrylic hearts and add those just because the color matches, and pretty much that's it. There is a little place for journaling down at the bottom if I want to do journaling strips, but like I said, there's nothing really special about the layout. It's just them sitting looking cute and taking a picture. This little flower I thought looked cute if I put it right here because it looks like the stem in the background is attached to the flower. So I went ahead and just laid it right there. And then I'm going to add cousins right here below this photo. and there's plenty of photos of these two together. So I really don't think I need to title, who's who. I might, like I said, if I add a little bit of journaling, I'll use their names when I do the journaling so that, we do know who they are. But all of his layouts go in his album. So, of course, we know who he is. And then this is my niece, Monique, and we're going to know who she is. Um, at least all of us are. I don't know about anybody else in the future, but it's okay. Because honestly, I don't know that my layouts will last for forever or that my sons will keep all of their albums. But it's okay because I do this as a hobby and I thoroughly enjoy creating the layouts. So here I put a little bunny on there. That's kind of Easter-ish, right? Then I have a little tag that says family down at the bottom. I put a little butterfly. I'm going to add this little acrylic heart. I used one of the little faux brads down at the bottom, and then I'm going to add another acrylic heart over here. I added one more acrylic heart up there at the top at the end of cousins. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's layout and enjoyed all the other layouts that I created this month for the scrap room. Be sure to check out the scrap room and receive her kits each month. She does have a great variety, and like I said, I thoroughly enjoy getting them and getting a little bit of a collection and then deciding if I want more. Thanks for coming by. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.